Montel, I am so excited to be talking with you and sharing so many of your amazing stories. So, in 1980 is when you first started to experience the symptoms of MS?
Right before I graduated from the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, after my 4 years there, I'm completely ready to be, commissioned as as it says inside of my Naval Academy ring, a Marine Corps pilot. I participated in a program at the Academy while I was there where I, got 39 hours of flight time in. I was prepping to go to flight school. And about 12 weeks before graduation, when we get our pre-commissioning immunizations, unfortunately, and I won't give out what it was, but I was in the group of people, the first 100 guys that went through the line for a particular immunization shot. We know now in retrospect, that that gun was set 7 times higher than it was supposed to be. Oh, wow. So the first 100 guys that went through the line got an overdose of a particular immunization, 3 of them together, diseases together, 3 times the amount. Out of the 100 that got the shot, about 40 of us went in the hospital. I was one of those 40. 10 of us stayed in the hospital for a long period of time. I was one of those 10. And though it did not cause my MS, it probably shocked my immune system in a way that it actually initiated what was already genetically in me. And so, unbeknownst to myself, and also the entire power of the entire United States military, I was seen at Walter Reed, Johns Hopkins, Bethesda. I was sent to the Wells Eye Clinic in Philadelphia. They kept trying to figure out what was wrong with me, but no one could diagnose it. For the next 20 years, I was misdiagnosed. I had multiple symptoms that if anybody really would have looked back at correctly, they would have identified. The guy has MS. But I'm also walking around at 225. I was a big weightlifter. I fought those symptoms just, I think, because of my personality. I worked out, I exercised, I tried to do everything I can to overcome what I thought were injuries from sports. Really, 99, 2000, I was officially diagnosed.
And once you got diagnosed, where did it go from there? And what are you doing today?
People who have MS and people who understand MS knows that it's characterized by episodes. We call them exacerbations. Mm-hmm. Some people call them bouts. I had a significant exacerbation in 2000, so significant that it sent me to the hospital. I was just punched upside the head. I went almost blind in my left eye. I have extreme neuropathic pain that started in my feet that really never goes away. It's there now. It'll stay there until the day I die, I'm sure, until we figure out some way to really, really, really get rid of it. I had a myriad of other symptoms that started that it sent me to a doctor. And when I went to the doctor in 2000, I got the typical diagnosis: stand by, get ready to die. Go home. End your life. I mean, it's so pathetic sometimes that we don't understand, and lots of people like doctors don't get it, that patients will sometimes listen so vehemently that they will live down to your expectation rather up to their own. And I almost for 1 second in my life allowed this doctor and another to make me live down to their expectation. They give me this whole list of all these things that are supposed to go wrong with me rather than tell me how I could work at keeping things moving and functioning with this illness. I literally went through, for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years, some of the most horrific time of my life. I suffered from extreme depression, so much so that, it's not even I say it with no pride, but I say it because there's so many other people who experience the things that I went through and they live in silence and never get an opportunity to say them. So I attempted to take my life. It was so horrific. But then I also realized, how dare, again, I live down to someone else's expectation. I had been living this way my whole life, up to my own, and just because some doctor tells me I'm gonna be in a wheelchair, literally they had the nerve to look me in the face and say that. So, and I knew it from the day one that I have MS, but MS was never gonna have me. Period. So what do I have to do to work at stopping what was an onslaught. So I changed my diet, started exercising. And diet was specific because, again, I have an inflammatory disease that's an autoimmune disease, we think. And if we go by what people believe, I need to reduce inflammation. That is my nemesis. I understand how to go through volumes of data, and I did so. And what I found was, okay, what I should try to do is eat naturally. First off, what God put on this planet, we did not adulterate. It can't hurt you.
Right.
Okay? Anything we decide to mass produce, start getting hurt the second you start eating it. After a lot of research, I decided that exercise, diet, my emotional well-being were as important as any other aspect of health, including any Western medication or any other Eastern medication or anything else anybody could provide. Once I got enough knowledge to start figuring out for me what worked, I just started modifying that regimen. I have intuitively believed in the ketogenic diet without even knowing what it was, because it's really been part of what I've done, but not to the level of what I think I need to take it to. And that's what I'm so excited about when it comes to getting more knowledge, because now, rather than looking at this as some sort of cast in iron regimen, I know that it's a regimen that I have to get a baseline to. It's just like, I got to graduate from high school to go to college, so I need a baseline. If we can reduce inflammation, and you don't have to do so taking extra medication, you just do so naturally, you can wake up the next day and go, wait a minute, that did affect me. This isn't just about overcoming sickness. This is also about preventing sickness,
Right.
being proactive. I don't want people to walk away from this and think that, oh, Montel's telling people with MS what they should do. No. If I can do it with MS and you don't have anything, holy moly, what would happen to you if you did something, right? So that's the purpose behind this, is not trying to say to people, if you're sick, you need to do this. Why wait till you're sick? Why not be as proactive as you can, and at least you'll be ahead of the game if something happens to cross your path.
Montel, thank you so much for sitting with me. This information is so powerful. Thank you.